Let's cut through all the noise. Forget the get-rich-quick stuff you see online. Today, we are going to focus on the single most important member in your journey to building real, long-term wealth. And this isn't some hot tip. This is a fundamental law of financial gravity, straight from one of the greatest investors who ever lived.
So, first things first, we have to understand the mountain that you're about to climb. Think of this as the great filter, the thing that separates those who are serious about building wealth from those who are just dreaming about it. This is the proving ground where real discipline is forged. And there it is. Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's legendary partner. He wasn't known for sugarcoating things. This quote right here is the entire foundation for what we're talking about today. See, it's not just a piece of advice, it's a mandate. And the fact that it's hard, well, that's the whole point. Now, Munger said this way back in the 90s. If we adjust for inflation, that number today is probably closer to $200,000. But you know what? Don't get hung up on the exact figure. The principle is what's timeless. This is all about reaching a critical mass of capital. That's the point where your money finally achieves a kind of escape velocity. The laws of wealth, they haven't changed. Think of this first phase as a brutal marathon. You are doing all of the heavy lifting. Every single dollar you save is a direct result of your own sweat, your own sacrifice. It's a pure test of endurance, of discipline. And frankly, this is the exact stage where most people give up, usually right before the magic is about to happen. So why? Why is it such a struggle, and why is this first milestone so incredibly critical? It's because it's not really about the money itself. It's about starting an unseen mathematical engine that once it gets going, does all the hard work for you. So let's talk about the most powerful force in all of finance, compounding. You know, they call it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. Compounding is where your money starts having babies, and then those babies have babies of their own. It's like a financial snowball. It starts small, so small it feels insignificant. At first, you can barely even see it growing, but you give it time and it becomes this unstoppable avalanche of wealth. Okay, take a look at this table. This is the brutal math Munger was talking about. Let's say you're saving, about $650 a month. Well, after 5 years, you've put in nearly $40,000 of your own hard-earned money, and the market, it's given you a little over $5,000 in return. It feels like a terrible deal, right? Your savings are doing all the work. The returns, they're just a whisper. But now, look at this. This is the tipping point. This is the payoff for all of that pain. Once you finally cross that $100,000 threshold, the entire game changes. Suddenly, that growth curve just goes vertical. Your money is now earning more for you than you are saving yourself. The engine has finally started. You finished the marathon, and now, my friend, you are in a rocket ship. And to really get a feel for the power of this rocket ship, you need a simple tool. It's called the Rule of 72. Just divide 72 by your expected annual return, and that tells you roughly how many years it'll take for your money to double. So at a modest 7% return, your $100,000 becomes $200,000 in about a decade, without you saving another dime. This isn't just a math trick, it's a mental model for seeing your future. But look, starting the engine is only half the battle. Now you have to protect it. There are these silent killers working 24/7 to sabotage your progress. And to win this game, you absolutely have to know your enemy. Here they are, the 4 horsemen of wealth destruction. You've got inflation, that silent tax that eats away at your savings. You've got high fees, which are basically parasites that bleed your returns dry. Then there's emotional decisions, the self-inflicted wounds of fear and greed. And finally, maybe the most dangerous of them all, lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep, it's like a golden cage. You get a raise, so you get a nicer car. You get a bonus, so you get a bigger apartment. I mean, it feels like progress, but really, it's a trap. It's this invisible force that keeps you on the financial hamster wheel, making sure your expenses always rise to meet your income, no matter how much you make. And if you think a bigger salary is the solution, just look at this number, 36%. More than a third of people earning over 6 figures are still living paycheck to paycheck. Just let that sink in for a second. This is not an income problem. It is a spending and a discipline problem. It is definitive proof that your salary doesn't make you rich. Your savings rate does. Okay, we've identified the mountain, we've talked about the engine that will help you climb it, and we've called out the enemies trying to pull you back down. So now let's get into the battle plan, the simple, actionable system to get you to the summit. The system is incredibly simple.
You just have to remember to ACT. That's assess, choose, and track. This isn't some complicated financial engineering. It's a boring, repeatable process. And trust me, in investing, boring is how you win.
First up, assess. Take a look at this chart. This shows you the single most powerful weapon in your entire financial arsenal, your savings rate. Just notice that doubling your savings from $500 to $1,000 a month doesn't just cut your time to $100,000 in half, it cuts it by more than half. That little bit extra is compounding, already giving you a boost. Your number one job is to get that savings rate as high as you possibly can.
Second, you choose. And your choice should be boring. Seriously. Forget trying to find the next Amazon or the next Tesla. That's not investing. That's just gambling in a casino where the house always wins. The disciplined path is to buy the entire market through simple, low-cost index funds and ETFs. You're not trying to find the needle in the haystack. You're just buying the whole haystack.
And finally, track. This is where you actually execute the plan. You automate your investments so that consistency becomes effortless. When you get a raise, you pay your future self first by increasing your savings rate before you even see the extra money hit your account. And the most critical part, when the market panics, you do nothing. You stay the course. Because market downturns, they aren't a threat, they're a fire sale for the disciplined investor. And so, that's where we'll end it. The path is clear, and the math is undeniable. Compounding is a force of nature, just waiting for you to unleash it. Your money is ready to do the heavy lifting. So the only real question left is, are you ready to put in the disciplined work to get it started?